International Media TV, television that listens to you.
Hi, I'm Johnny Burrell. Welcome to the program.
San Francisco's City Hall welcomes Kwanzaa.
My name is Derek Brown, Director of the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. And on behalf of Mayor Ed Lee, I would like to welcome each and every one of you here for this 10th annual celebration. I remember Adrian came up to my office about a couple months ago and said she really wants to keep the tradition going, keep the tradition alive, and we were able to make it work. And as I look around to everyone, everyone's enjoying themselves, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming out and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Habar Ghani. Welcome to our 10th Kwanzaa celebration here at City Hall. 9 celebrations ago, we started here at City Hall on the front steps under the guise and hosting of Daniel Holmesy. And I see that he's back, his office is back in Neighborhood Services. So we are pleased that the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services continue to host a day of Kwanzaa at City Hall. I'm Adrian Williams, I'm Executive Director of the Village Project, and our main goal is to take care of the youth and families in the Western Addition. And throughout the city, obviously, since we have events all over the city. But in doing that, we had to strengthen and unite our families, and that expanded to the communities. And now here we are celebrating the 10th Kwanzaa celebration. So I welcome you. I ask you to sit back and enjoy the program, and I'll see you a little later on in the program. Thank you.
All right, a big round of applause for Ms. Adrian Williams. Thank you, Adrian, for keeping our culture alive here in San Francisco. So again, we need to consecrate our event. So I'd like to invite the Reverend Christopher Zacharias to the podium.
May we bow our heads, my brothers and sisters, to the God of humanity, to the expressions of life and spirituality that are served today. We ask, O gracious God, that you would allow us in our collective work and social responsibility to not be a theory, but be one of practice, that all races are collectively looking together for the purpose of peace, unity, and love, so that we can all live together as one and work together to solve all issues, whether it be of a particular race or just one race. But we ask that your presence be in us and that we live fully towards the principle of Kwanzaa in Ujami. We ask this in the expression of name of a God of humanity. Let us all say together, amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Amen and Ashe. So this next brother that I'd like to welcome to the stage, Brother Clint, I've known for many, many years. He is a mentor, a teacher, an ally for young people in this city, and he's going to share and educate us on what Kwanzaa is all about. Brother Clint.
It is a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm going to ask that the drummers give me some percussion and the keys give me some music to ride on. What we want to do is evoke the memory of the ancestors, to bring them alive inside of us so that we don't forget who we are, where we come from. I have a bottle of water. I'm cracking open a fresh bottle of water right now. As clear as our intentions, as pure as our love, When I pour this water into this cup, you say, Ashe. Say Ashe. Ashe is bless you. Ashe is you go. Ashe is amen. Ashe is uh-huh. When I pour this love and you say Ashe, your voice vibrates through the water and it becomes something special. It becomes an offering of our love. This libation, say Ashe. I pour this libation for those great Africans who started the march of civilization in the Nile Valley. Say Ashe. I pour this libation for the millions of Africans that were marched across the interior of Africa to the West Coast. Say Ashe. To the millions on the Middle Passage brought to this country in shackles. Each ripple in the ocean is a grave for an African who refused to be a slave. For the millions, say Ashe. Once we reached the shores of North America, the real fight for freedom began. A little love for the maroons, say Ashe. Harriet Tubman, Denmark Vesey, people who were fighting against the oppression of slavery, even at the cost of their own lives. I pour out a little love for Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass. I pour out a little love for Richard Allen, Crispus Attucks, the first man to die for the flag we now hold high. America, America, we love you, America. We fought for America when America didn't even stand for us. Black people, our language, our country taken away from us, we became who we are, the blackness. Pour out a little love for the greatest cowboy to ever live, Nat Love, say Ashe. Duke Ellington, say Ashe. Count Basie, say Ashe. Pour out a little love for Billie Holiday, say Ashe. I want to pour out a little love for all those people whose names I don't know. Only you know their names. We want to fill this room with the names of our ancestors. All at once, say the names of those people who you love. Say their names. Say their names. Honor them. Linda Diane Tucker, Lucille Jordan, Obie Jordan, Gilbert Thomas. Say their names as I pour. When a person has died, you have to continue to remember and say their names. Because when you stop saying their name, they are truly dead. Say Ashe. Pour out a little love for Nola D. Maxwell. I want to pour out a little love for all those people who came before us. Ozzie Davis said, "Be not deceived. The struggle is far from over. The best of being black is yet to be. So say the ones who died to set you free." Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Remember the ancestors. Pour libations for the ancestors. You honor me. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Clint. Ashe. Ashe. So Kwanzaa would not be this celebratory event without our children. The corn that is here on the altar represents the children in our community who are some of the most, in addition to the elders, our children are some of the most important people in our community. So I'd like to welcome the village children to the stage. Uh-oh, be careful, baby. Look how beautiful they look in all their colors. So if you would join them by standing as they present us with the Negro National Anthem, Lift Every Voice.
Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. You guys continue on with me. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days that hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place on which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path, we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadowed beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land. Give the babies a hand.
Right,
Give them a hand,
Give
please.
Them a hand. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, back to the show.
You guys get pictures of these babies. It looks so adorable.
No, the rest of it.
I love it. children. Yes, yes, yes. Ashe? Ashe. So next we'd like to welcome Reverend Eric Monterey to the stage. He's with the Union of Black Episcopalians. We'll get a, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Welcome.
Habari Gadi. Habani Gadi. Good afternoon and welcome to the third day of Kwanzaa. My name is Eric Machwaye. I was a past president of the Union of Black Episcopalians. The union dates itself back to the late 1700s when the first Black Episcopal priest, Absalom Jones, founded St. Thomas African Orthodox Episcopal Church in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Of Kwanzaa, Dr. Maulana Karenga of California State University, Long Beach, created Kwanzaa in 1965 as the first specific African American holiday. Per Dr. Karenga, Kwanzaa comes from the Swahili phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means the first fruits of our harvest. He chose Swahili as a Pan-Africanist language, one that is native to East Africa, that is not tied to any one specific tribe, one specific nation, but one spoken by many tribes, many peoples, and many nations. Kwanzaa celebrates the 7 principles of Nguzo Saba, these principles of our African heritage, consisting what he considered the best of African thought and practice of a constant exchange in our world. These principles together are umoja, unity, to strive for and maintain unity in family, community, nation, and a people. Kuchikagulia, our self-determination, to define ourselves, to name ourselves, create for ourselves, and to speak for ourselves. Ujima, collective work and our responsibility, which is to build our community together and to make our brothers and sisters our problems and to solve them, all of our problems, together. Ujamaa, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, our own shops, our own businesses, and to profit from these together. Nia, our purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Kaumba, our creativity, to do always as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than what we inherited. And the last, Imani, faith, to believe in all of our hearts, in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and the victory of our struggle. We who celebrate Kwanzaa have dedicated ourselves to these principles in upholding the people of the African race, and know that we all have come from the mother continent, from Mother Africa. Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you so much, indeed. Ashe. So I'd like to welcome everyone here and to give reverence to the Honorable Malia Cohen with the Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Supervisor, for joining us today.
The 7 principles are at the core of Kwanzaa. I hope this can help you to remember them. Smiled upon with another opportunity to better ourselves. Recite, if you will, in Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles. Umoja is unity. and that's the way it should always be. To build and maintain unity in the family, nation, and community. As a people, we need to get together and share our blessings. That's the way it should always be. Umoja is unity. Kujichagulia is self-determination, you see? To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Kujichagulia is self-determination, you see? I need freedom to define my own goals so no one has to speak for me. Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together. Your worry's mine, my worry's yours, whatever. Let's take responsibility for our past and what our future's gonna be. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujamaa, cooperative economics. That money, man. To build and maintain our own stores, our own shops, our own businesses, getting props, sharing profits, feeling fine. I buy your goods, you buy mine. Believing people come before profits do. Power to the people, to the me, to the you. Ujamaa, we must understand that money, man. Nia is purpose, like a little girl's name, to make our collective work the lifting and building of our community so our people can rise to our traditional greatness. We are social beings and we must work together, our hood. But Nia's purpose, so it's all good. Kuumba is creativity, to do always as much as you can in the way that you can. So the community we inherit is more lovely than it began. Enhance the world, a flavor from you, a taste from me. Kuumba is creativity. Imani is faith. We have to have faith. To believe in our hearts and our people, in our parents and our teachers too, and the righteousness of our struggle. Believe in the power of you. Selectively honor our leaders. Forever encourage the young with Imani, with faith. Help me out, y'all. Umoja. That means unity. That's right, that's right. Kujichagulia. Self-determination. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. Ujamaa. Cooperative economics. Nia. That's purpose. That's why we wake up in the morning. Kuumba. Imani. Umoja. Kujichagulia. Ujamaa. Nia. Kuumba. Imani. Ashe. Who's going to have a positive day? Ashe, ashe. Who's going to have a positive Kwanzaa day? Ashe, ashe. Who will respect themselves today? Ashe, ashe. Who will respect the teacher today? Ashe, ashe. Who will smile today? Say still. Who will laugh today? Say I. Who will love today? Say rise. Who gonna get their Kwanzaa on today? Say Ashe. Okay, everybody do it like this. Come on, y'all, get your rhythm on. Come on now. There you go. Come on, y'all. Too many black people in here for us not to get this one, huh? Come on now. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, we looking good. We looking good. Y'all help me out with this part right here. Say, I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. Say, I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. Say, I'm gonna get me some Kwanzaa. Say, I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. Clap your hands now, Kwanzaa is a 7-day celebration for a year-long practice. The stronger we are during this week, probably the further we can get into the year with our practice. Those 7 principles will heal everything. Those 7 principles embedded in the community can only mean success. I'm trying to tell you, everybody needs to get their Kwanzaa on, and not just the black people. Everybody needs to get their Kwanzaa on. I'm telling you, If we just master one of those principles, one, we can heal all of our aches and pains. We can love each other more better. We can have more money circulating in the community. I'm trying to tell you. Say, I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. Say, I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. Say, I'm gonna get me some Kwanzaa. I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. Oh, yeah. Turn to somebody and say, get your Kwanzaa on. Turn to somebody and say, get your Kwanzaa on. Say, I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on. The Rotunda here at City Hall 2015 has officially been anointed with some Kwanzaa flavor. I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on.
I'm gonna get my Kwanzaa on.
Thank you.
All right, Brother Clint. Ashe. We can always count on you to get it crunk up in here. All right. Without further ado, I'd like to invite my dear friend and colleague, Mr. Kija Gardner, Executive Director of the Bayview Hunters Point YMCA, to the stage to introduce our keynote. Ashe.
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 I'm Kija Gardner, Executive Director for the Bayview YMCA, and I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our very own keynote speaker this afternoon, Ms. LaShawn Walker, who is a resident of the Bayview community for the past 20 years, has served our community tirelessly. She currently serves as the Community Director for Lennar Urban and has served in many different capacities in community-based organizations. To keep it short and sweet, and we want to get to the message, let's now welcome to the stage Ms. LaShawn Walker.
All right.
I grew up in the age of Schoolhouse Rock, so that's how I know what a bill is. I wish I had learned what Kwanzaa was the way Brother Clint just taught us. Ashe.
Ashe.
For me, the best thing about Kwanzaa is that it gives black people permission to talk to black people. It takes all types of people to make community, but this is a moment for me as a black woman to talk to black people. Kwanzaa is a celebration, but it's a time of reflection and to look within. Dr. William Greer, some of you may be old enough to know who he was. He was a San Francisco psychiatrist. He and another physician, Price Cobb, wrote a book called Black Rage. The book was groundbreaking for the time because it took a deep psychological look at the consequences of racism and oppression. I had the privilege of knowing Dr. Greer. He was a mentor of mine. He died recently in September. And that moment, his passing, gave me an opportunity to look around and see that his book that talked about the anger that we carry is as relevant today as it was in 1968 when the book was published. Many of the problems in our community and the disturbances we suffer are a natural and perfectly understandable reaction and consequence of oppression. The predominant imagery that we have as a people, black people, even those of us who are successful, I'm talking just about the imagery, is our people who are intoxicated, happy, violent, and lustful. In a system where men and women are in competition with each other, particularly black men and women, it is a scheme to divide and conquer us. This is a moment for me as a black woman to talk to black people. We have rage. We have the rage that that Dr. Greer and Dr. Cobb talked about in 1968. We have that rage because Black Lives Matter feels more like a question than a statement. What does that have to do with Kwanzaa? Well, we can't be afraid of our own liberation. As I said, Kwanzaa is about looking within. It's a time of recalibration. It's an opportunity for us to set our ship right again, to find our North Star, to be reflective about the 7 principles, and for us to consider as a people exactly whose principles govern our thoughts and our actions. I got my master's degree at USF. I love San Francisco. I'm a native. But that doesn't mean I love everything about San Francisco. Because if you're a smart thinking person, you look objectively at the things around you. Stephen Privet, who was the 27th president of USF, said in one of his speeches as he was retiring, "What you see depends on where you stand, and what you hear depends on whom you listen to." Who are we listening to, brothers and sisters? On the corner of 3rd and Quezada, I got to rep my hood. On the corner of 3rd and Quezada, outside of a store by the name of Save Mart, it was an area known for hanging out. Large groups of young African American men would often hang on this corner. The store owner and a group of community members got together, mobilized, and put a garden there, a series of planter boxes. So if you drive by that corner now, there's a garden there. That is a wonderful example of collective work and responsibility. Communities whose men and women spiritually and philosophically are united are an immovable force. Tomorrow is the principle of cooperative economics, so I include that in my comments. I am sure that many of you have heard of a woman by the name of Marguerite Anderson, Maggie Anderson. She wrote a book called Our Black Year, her family's quest to spend 1 year shopping with Black-owned businesses. And she was called many names, not nice ones, in her effort to spend money in her own community. That too is a part of a divide and conquer scheme. In her message, and she goes around the country speaking about this, her experience and her book, in her message she calls for us to have conscious consumerism, to support our local entrepreneurs and suppliers. There are so many examples of Black folks talking to ourselves. We just have to be readers, listeners, and heed the words that we hear. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "No one else can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and the ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation." I call to us today to remember the principle of today: cooperative work, community cooperative work, and do the things in our community and look out for one another, brothers and sisters. Thank you.
All right. Ashe. Ashe. We appreciate having LaShawn in the position that she holds, for she's looking out for us. Ashe. So I had the opportunity to hear this young woman about 2 weeks ago at an educational summit held at USF, LaShawn's alma mater, and she is awesome and dynamite. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ms. Tatiana Willis from Youth Speaks to the podium.
Hi, everybody. Glad to see y'all faces. So yeah, the piece that I'm about to do for you is seated in leadership and what leadership means as a young black woman, as a young plus-size black woman, what leadership means to me and what leaders mean to me. So, wade in the waters, wade in the water, children, wade in the waters. God's gonna trouble the waters. Knees low, back bent forward, pointer finger on lips. The universal symbol for silence, imagine. 10 Negroes crouched to the ground as scared as they were silent. More faith and Harriet Tubman than any God master taught them about. When I think of leading, I see aching black bodies, young and old, crawling out of slavery's pit. When I think of a leader, I hear black women say she would have freed so many more had they known they were slaves. See, great leaders do not judge their success by their number of followers. Great leaders are worried about who they left behind, and I worry often about the thicker girls trying to stuff themselves in a beautiful box. I'm afraid they won't learn to make one on their own, so I write lectures on fat girl self-love and call them poems. Make every stage my classroom. This is Woodshop 101, how to shave if you're overweight, how to keep your cool when you have to ask the flight attendant twice for an extension, what ointment to use when your thighs go raw from chafing, history lessons on the mammy roll and how it changed the world for black women today. See, I am leader here. On platforms I fear are too thin to hold my figure, but I spit anyway, teach anyway, lead anyway, because leadership is not just for the gatekeepers of the movement. Revolutionary leaders cannot enjoy freedom knowing there are people still enslaved, still not free, still stuffing themselves in the boxes. So I will Harriet Tubman into self-love on platforms just like these. Thank you.
I told y'all she was bad. I told you. Put on your crash helmet and seatbelt. All right, Miss Willis. Yes, indeed. So we have another performance from the Community of Voice Senior Choir. Can I get the choir to join me on the podium at the stage? The Community of Voice Senior Choir.
As a student of Dr. Maulana Ron Karenga, we are taught to respect our elders. And so we want to make sure that we honor our elders because they provide us with wisdom and a plethora of information of how to proceed forward. So we want to give them a round of applause.
Media Voice Singing Choir. Yeah, right, I said. Get it, babies. All right. All right, Ashe. Woo! Ashe.
So what I want to do is just end it off with Harambe, and they're going to drum while I do Harambe. All right? So the last thing is just really we're all going to pull together. We're just standing up and just pulling together, and then we will disperse after that. Okay? So can we all stand, please? So Harambe is a moment where we all pull together. We have a lot of issues right now that we're being confronted with here in San Francisco. And so what we're going to do is, what I like to do is try to get everyone out so that we can be able to make our full circle. Let's have a moment of peace for those who could not be here. We're going to raise up, and we're going to pull that power and energy that we need to reverberate our communities with, and we're going to pull it back down over our hearts, saying Harambe. All right, so we're going to do it 7 times. Are you ready? Harambe, 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 Harambe. Be black, be strong.